Not every dangerous creature on this planet relies on claws or massive size to become one of the deadliest. Sometimes, true danger comes in something far smaller, where a single bite is enough to change everything. Today, we're diving into the world of the most venomous snakes on Earth, and I guarantee there will be more than a few names that surprise you. The black mamba is one of the most feared living beings on Africa, not because of myth or exaggeration, but because of what happens in real time when human and serpent share the same space. Its body is long, lean, and built like a living blade, blending into dry grass and rocky soil with colors of olive and dust. Never actually black despite the name, while its identity comes from the inside of its mouth that opens like a sudden void. What makes it terrifying is not only its presence, but its speed, reaching nearly 20 kilometers per hour on land, turning escape into an illusion and distance into something meaningless. When it decides to engage, it does not hesitate or retreat. It advances with repeated strikes that feel less like hunting and more like a system designed for immediate elimination. Its venom is a powerful neurotoxin that attacks the nervous system directly, disrupting the signals that control breathing, movement, and consciousness, as if the body is being slowly disconnected from its own control. Symptoms can begin within minutes, spreading through the body with a speed that matches its movement, turning awareness into confusion and then into paralysis. Without rapid medical intervention, the outcome is often fatal, with survival rates approaching 0 in untreated cases, a statistic that transforms encounters into urgent races against time that most victims cannot win. In rural communities where medical help may be distant, its reputation grows into something larger than biology, becoming a shared memory of fear that travels from generation to generation. It is not simply its venom or its speed that defines it, but the combination of precision, aggression, and efficiency that makes it one of the most dangerous snakes on Earth. Now we move into Asia. Here, the King Cobra emerges not as a hidden creature, but as something that commands space itself, a serpent that carries one extraordinary trait no other venomous snake on Earth can match, its sheer size. This is the longest venomous snake in the world, reaching up to 5.5 meters in length, a body so extended that when it rises, it stops being a creature on the ground and becomes a vertical presence, lifting itself high enough to meet the eyes of a grown man. And that moment alone is enough to freeze instinct into silence. But its true danger is not only in its scale, it is in its mind. Because unlike most reptiles, it demonstrates unusual learning ability, recognizing patterns, distinguishing threats, and responding differently depending on what it has experienced before, as if memory itself is woven into its survival. Its venom is not the most concentrated among snakes, but the volume it delivers is devastating. A single bite releasing enough neurotoxic power to overwhelm a body rapidly, with documented cases showing it can kill an adult elephant. And in humans, death may occur in under 30 minutes without immediate intervention. When it threatens, it does not always strike instantly. Sometimes it rises first, expanding its hood like a warning banner, holding its ground in a posture that feels almost deliberate, as if it is measuring distance, calculating response, deciding whether you are already too late. And unlike any other venomous snake in the world, it is also a builder and a guardian, constructing nests for its eggs and staying behind to protect them, transforming itself from predator into defender, a contradiction that makes its behavior even more unpredictable in moments of stress. This combination of size, intelligence, overwhelming venom output, and territorial protection makes the King Cobra one of the most dangerous animals in Asia. The Inland Taipan is extreme danger, compressed into a living shape, a predator whose venom does not simply harm, but dismantles the human body layer by layer, turning a single defensive strike into a biological catastrophe with no reversal. In the burning emptiness of Central Australia, where the land stretches like a cracked mirror reflecting only heat and silence, it moves almost like an illusion, a thin ribbon of shadow slipping through dust and stone, so perfectly camouflaged it feels less like an animal and more like a thought the desert forgot to erase. What makes the Inland Taipan terrifying is not aggression, because it rarely seeks conflict, but precision, a calm, calculated response to threat that transforms its entire body into a delivery system for one of the most toxic venoms known to science, a substance so potent that a single bite carries enough lethality to end more than 100 adult human lives. That venom does not act like a simple poison, it behaves like a coordinated internal collapse, attacking the nervous system first, cutting communication between brain and muscle as if the body's wiring is being silently severed, then moving into the blood, destroying clotting ability, triggering internal bleeding, and breaking down tissue from within like invisible fire spreading through wet paper. This is why the Inland Taipan is considered one of the most dangerous snakes on Earth. Not because it hunts humanity, but because its defense system is so perfectly engineered that survival depends entirely on never being close enough for it to decide you are a threat. The rattlesnake is a creature built around contradiction, a predator that announces its presence with sound yet still manages to remain one of the most efficient and feared hunters in the natural world. Its body is thick and muscular, designed for short explosive bursts rather than pursuit, blending into deserts, forests, and rocky terrain with patterns that dissolve into dust and shadow like broken fragments of the land itself. At the end of its tail lies the rattle, a biological warning system that vibrates with increasing intensity, a sound that feels less like animal communication and more like a mechanical countdown echoing through dry air. What makes it especially dangerous is not only its venom, which is primarily hemotoxic and capable of destroying blood cells and tissue integrity, but its ability to detect the heat signatures of living creatures even in complete darkness. It hunts at night like a living sensor, reading warmth instead of light, turning invisible prey into glowing shapes in a world only it can fully interpret. When it strikes, it does so with precision and restraint, a rapid injection of venom delivered through hollow fangs designed to pierce and release in a fraction of a second before retreating back into stillness. Its venom begins working silently, breaking down blood, disrupting circulation, and triggering internal damage that spreads like an unseen fire through the body over time. In terms of efficiency, even a single bite can contain enough venom to incapacitate large prey, and in extreme cases, without medical intervention, it becomes a race between treatment and systemic failure. Unlike many predators that rely on surprise alone, this snake relies on awareness. It warns, it waits, and then it decides, making every encounter a negotiation where hesitation is often the most dangerous choice. In rural landscapes and desert trails, the sound of its rattle is both mercy and threat, a paradoxical signal that tells you danger is present while still placing you inside its range. It is one of the most iconic and dangerous snakes in the Americas because it combines warning, precision, and biochemical destruction into a single evolutionary strategy that rewards neither panic nor delay. The Gabonese Viper is a master of disappearance, a creature so perfectly adapted to camouflage that stepping near it feels less like an encounter and more like a violation of invisible boundaries drawn by nature. Its body is thick, heavy, and patterned with geometric markings that mimic dead leaves and broken bark, turning it into a sculpted illusion of the earth rather than a moving animal. Among all venomous snakes, it carries the longest fangs, reaching up to 5 centimeters, like hooked blades hidden inside a mouth that opens with mechanical precision and terrifying patience. But its true danger is not speed alone. It is the combination of silence, weight, and absolute stillness, because it often lies motionless for hours or even days, waiting for the exact moment when life steps too close. When it finally strikes, the motion is explosive and almost unfair. A sudden collapse of stillness into violence so fast that the eye registers it only after impact has already happened. Its venom is not just toxic but destructive on multiple levels, causing tissue necrosis and breaking down blood components, turning living flesh into something unstable and unrecognizable over time. Each bite can deliver one of the largest venom yields of any snake in the world, a biological injection so massive that it overwhelms the body not gradually but systemically, like a shutdown from within. What makes it especially feared is not its aggression, but its patience, because it does not waste energy on pursuit. It simply waits for the world to come to it, like a predator that understands time better than movement. It stands among the most dangerous serpents in Africa because it combines invisibility, endurance, and devastating venom into a single patient system of survival that does not forgive mistakes. The blue krait is one of the most deceptive predators on Earth, a creature that looks almost delicate in the daylight, as if it were painted rather than born, yet carrying within it a silence that can stop a human body from breathing. Its body is slender and patterned with bands of deep blue and black, a design so striking that it feels artificial, like jewelry placed across the forest floor, inviting curiosity more than fear. By day it appears calm, even passive, often avoided by accident rather than escape. But when night falls, it transforms into something entirely different, an unseen force that moves through darkness like a thought you cannot interrupt. What makes it truly dangerous is not aggression, but invisibility, a venomous system so powerful that it contains multiple times the toxicity of many cobras, yet it delivers it through a bite so painless that victims often do not realize they have been marked. There is no burning sensation, no immediate alarm, only a quiet moment where the body continues as if nothing has changed, while inside the nervous system is already beginning to fail. Its neurotoxic venom works like a silent shutdown sequence, disrupting communication between brain and muscles, until breathing itself becomes an action the body forgets how to perform. Symptoms often appear hours later, when distance from the encounter has already created a false sense of safety, turning delay into the most lethal weapon it possesses. The boomslang is a silent green ghost that can turn the calm canopy of sub-Saharan Africa into a hidden execution chamber where even a single bite becomes a delayed death sentence. Slender and deceptively fragile in appearance, this arboreal serpent drapes through trees like a moving vine with eyes that track motion in near-perfect stillness and a body built for balance rather than brute force. What makes it terrifying is not immediate violence, but precision and deception, since its rear-fanged anatomy often leads observers to underestimate it, while its venom works quietly against the very system that keeps blood alive and stable. When it strikes, it does not rush like a typical viper, but rather leans forward in a controlled arc, opening its mouth wider than expected as its hidden fangs deliver venom deep into tissue where it begins dismantling clotting from within. In one documented case, the death of Carl Schmidt revealed the true danger of this serpent, as even trained expertise could not reverse the slow internal collapse caused by a bite that initially seemed minor and survivable. Its venom is a hemotoxin that destroys coagulation pathways, leading to uncontrolled bleeding from gums, skin, and internal organs often hours after the encounter, creating a dangerous illusion of safety that delays treatment until it is too late. In the shadowed rainforests of Central and South America, a single coiled shape has silently outclaimed more human lives from snakebite than any other serpent in Latin America, the Terciopelo. This pit viper Bothrops asper is thick-bodied and muscular, growing over 2 meters in length, its scales patterned like rotting leaves in wet soil, allowing it to disappear beneath forest litter with a patience that feels almost geological in scale. Its venom is a biochemical storm designed for destruction, rich in enzymes that dissolve tissue, disrupt blood, and can transform a simple bite into rapid necrosis that in severe cases leads to irreversible damage and even amputation of limbs. The strike is not a warning, but an instant eruption of motion, faster than the human eye can fully register, driven by instinct sharpened through evolution into a precise ambush that leaves almost no time for reaction. Its camouflage makes it nearly invisible against the forest floor, and because its activity peaks at night, it often shares space with people moving through rural paths, turning ordinary walks into silent confrontations with danger that is almost never seen until it is too late. It is responsible for more snakebite deaths in Latin America than any other species, a grim statistic driven not only by its abundance and proximity to human settlements, but also by the sheer difficulty of spotting it before a strike occurs.